Interesting and shocking outcomes from the midweek games in the Premier League. Games that we did not see coming, draws and losses that we did not predict. And for the winners, well, whether it be a slim win or an emphatic win, the most important thing is that 3 points were held. And for this purpose, we'd like to say congratulations to the London teams. They were on the winning team yesterday. They were on the winning side yesterday. While for the Manchester teams, well, it's like they were Olodos yesterday. But quickly, let's break it down. First, let's talk about Chelsea. We said it was going to be tough, but at the end of the day, it was easy. Very, very easy. 4-1-4.
1-4.
I mean, it's been a while since we saw Chelsea that ruthless. What's responsible for that ruthlessness also yesterday?
Firstly, I would like to say I expect the team should have gone back to the drawing board to do some few
after those
changes after
draw,
the erratic
the draw and
they
the
had.
loss.
So, and in my own opinion, I feel Aston Villa played to our hands yesterday. They played to our hands. And you are playing a big side, no matter how bad the results Chelsea could have been having in the past, they are still a big side. You have to give them some respect.
You can't go all out.
Can't go all out.
Throw caution to the wind.
Play high up the field, throw caution to the field, and believe you can outscore them. So I think that was one of the things that led to the onslaught yesterday. And but the caliber of players Chelsea, I sincerely I don't know. Maybe Manchester United fans, you have to accept this with me. I think Garnacho was awesome yesterday.
I mean, even the broken clock is correct twice a day. So I guess yesterday was his day. I mean,
yes, because he enjoyed playing Aston Villa because he had so many.
Aston Villa left a lot of spaces.
They left a lot of space for him to play now, and they kept playing him into those places, and he kept coming into those places and destroying. I didn't even have any solution to it. So personally, I felt they didn't give Chelsea enough respect, and they got destroyed by Chelsea.
Big change yesterday we saw. In fact, the coach had to confirm that it had nothing to do with injury, but it was a tactical decision. Finally, Robert Sanchez to the bench. Philip Jorgensen started in goal, and he looked solid. No errors, no misplaced passes to the opponent's foot to put back in the net. He gave him a solid performance. Now, I remember under Maresca, I think it was Manchester City, Arsenal against Manchester City. Chelsea against Manchester City. Yeah. Maresca used Philip Jorgensen in that game. He gave a decent performance, and then the very next game, it was back to Sanchez. Do you think Leverkusen finally has his first choice goalkeeper in Jorgensen?
Well, I think when you give a particular goalkeeper chance upon chance upon chance, and the fact that he continues to mess it up. I mean, if you look at Robert Sanchez, there was a time you were like, okay, maybe he has
found the corner. Yeah, he was the best goalkeeper at the Club World Cup and all that.
He was doing very fantastically well. And then all of a sudden, Leverkusen came in, and let's not forget, for Maresca, at one point he was particular about playing from the back. But he saw that, okay, the players he has, it's not like he can play from the back. So he started going long at some point as well. So I think that was kind of what helped Robert Sanchez. Now, Leverkusen is in here. He's the type of manager that I would love to play from the back. If you look at his time at Strasbourg, his goalkeeper was almost part of the midfield. He was coming into the midfield and into the defense as well. So he needs his goalkeeper to be very, very proactive. He's one of these type of managers that makes that his goalkeeper actually comes out of the box a whole lot. So I think that's something that he expects from Robert Sanchez. And Sanchez, he can't do it. If you're telling Sanchez to actually come out of the box and pass out from the back, distribute passes, he won't do it. He's a goalkeeper that is kind of prone to errors. So I think he has given him chances upon chances upon chances, and he has said that, okay, maybe it's not working. Let me try the second choice goalkeeper. And yesterday, Jorgensen, I won't say he did fantastically well, but it was decent.
He did the basics. There were no world-class saves, but there were no howlers either. Yeah. He just did what was normal. And, talking about the table right now, top four After the last two games, people said that our Chelsea's top four hopes were hanging by a thread. Looks like it's back on track. As a matter of fact, Chelsea's back in the top four now. Aston Villa is down to fifth.
Yeah, you know how tough the EPL is. All you need is just one bad result, one bad game, two bad games, and at the same time, all you need is just two good games, and you are up. So
I mean, a few good games for Manchester United. They were eight.
And we were eight.
When Ruben was fired, and now they're
we are
third.
close now. Yeah, so you just need some good run of game, and you'll be where you anticipate. So let's see what happens if they can replicate this form and go into the other games and see it as a final, because definitely everybody will be fighting for each point. Every point you can get, and the maximum 3 points everybody will be fighting for it from now. So let's see. Maybe this is just not a fluke. Let's see if they can continue.
I mean, for Aston Villa, I just feel a lot of teams actually claim that they want to be in and among the top players, but you can actually dream it. But then when you get there, can you actually replicate the form these big teams are playing? Because it's not easy to be playing in three competitions at the same time. And you are still making the top four. I think we are kind of seeing it with Aston Villa right now. At the start of the season, they were not playing very well. At some point they
went on the run.
I feel this is not the first time Villa is even doing this. I've seen in the last season
as well.
There's always a point whereby they go on a winning run, they just keep winning, and
then they drop.
They drop again. So
let's talk about probably the biggest, even though it was the smallest result yesterday, but it was the biggest result when it comes to impact. Let's talk about Arsenal away at the Amex. It was belabored, it was tight. Fabian Ozela said Arsenal were not trying to play a football game. I don't know whatever that means, But then at the end of the day, probably the biggest 3 points of the season for Arsenal, because it gave them full advantage of what happened in Manchester at the Etihad Stadium. And now Arsenal 7 points ahead of Manchester City. Even if Manchester City goes ahead to win their outstanding game, Arsenal will still have 4-point cushion with just about 8 games to go. Fahad, it looks like we should start congratulating Arsenal, champions of the EPL for 2025-2026.
I think one thing I said last time on the show was that Arsenal still have the luxury of dropping points. Manchester City, they don't have the luxury.
But we said that, but that both of them will not win the rest of the fixtures.
And I think
will still drop
it's the team that drops lesser points that is going to win the league. And right now, it looks like Arsenal might be dropping lesser points than Manchester City. So for Arsenal, it's all about getting all 3 points, dragging themselves to the finish line. You've seen it last couple of seasons.
Scored early. Brighton tried everything, but at the end of the day,
I think these are the times when you know that okay, this team might be ripe for actually winning the league. Where you know that okay, they can actually they scored, like I said, they scored earlier on, but then they dragged themselves to the finish line by getting all 3 points against Brighton and Hove Albion. Let's not forget this Brighton and Hove Albion, they decided that they are kind of on a mini resurgence. So it kind of looks like they went to play against the side that they are on a mini resurgence themselves, and they were still able to get all 3 points. And let's not forget, for Fabian Ozela, he said they were not playing. They were not
trying to play a football game. The only one team was trying to play football in that game, and that was Brighton. Well,
at the end of the day, it's not 3 points that matters. It's the 3 points that matters. Nobody will acknowledge
in a league that has been won by goal difference before.
Yeah.
Believe you me, it doesn't matter how you get those 3 points. Just get the 3 points.
That's all that matters. And so I just before Fabian Ozela, just sad for him, because there's this stat that Arsenal they took them 30 something minutes to actually restart play yesterday. So anytime the ball went out or their player got down injured, it's all accumulated all together.
They wasted over 30
minutes. So I can kind of see where Fabian Ozela is coming from. But at the same time, when a team like that scores early, then you have all those chances. You take your chances.
In such a game, immediately Arsenal scored. It's almost like referee, please just play right now with you. Let it end now. They were not interested in playing much anymore. They knew the Amex was going to be a slippery, game for them. They got what they needed early, and they locked shop. And I have to say that what we call the stuff of champions is not being the best team,
throughout
the whole 38 games. Sometimes you may be the worst team when it comes to performance, but still manage to get a win.
Definitely.
You have to be able to get a win, regardless of the performance. And I think that's what Arsenal did yesterday. Not the best performance, for us now, but regardless, they got the win. Manchester City, Shola. I mean, what in the name of God was that? It doesn't come more straightforward than that. Etihad Stadium, fumbling and wobbling Nottingham Forest, who just had a new coach that is yet to win a game, Etihad Stadium, come on. Haaland is back. Rodri is there. I mean, they had practically the complement of all their big guns yesterday.
It was very pathetic.
Even Doku is back.
Yes.
And then you go ahead twice and surrender your lead twice.
Yes.
So it wasn't like Manchester City were trying to come back. They went ahead twice and they allowed Nottingham Forest back.
Come back. And how many times have we seen this season? Each time you feel Manchester City, they are back. They are now on top form. I can remember there was a particular game they played, and was it against Newcastle? And we played so well. And I was really impressed personally. I felt, wow, I think Manchester City is back after all. 4 games like that, and the next thing you see, they play a team and they concede a goal and they score again and they still concede. And the problem is you just feel they don't have that mentality just to secure games anymore. And that is what they used to do in the past. And that is why Arsenal
they got very games.
And that's why Arsenal will probably win the league ahead of them, because when you get the opportunity to take a lead, seal it. And if you are unable to get more goals, just seal it. And for everything people say about Arsenal, please, there are so many ways to success in football. You can do it in the flamboyant way. You can do it. So the major thing, and for a team that has been coming for the past 3 seasons and they've been coming second, and now they have the opportunity to now get what they've been looking for, do you think they will mind not getting it anyway? Even if it requires them just getting 1 goal and locking the shop. Even against Chelsea, it was obvious they didn't actually really want to go all out against Chelsea. They just wanted that opportunity to get the goal, and because they knew they had the defense to hold any side, at least to not concede more than 1 goal. And if they can get 2 goals in games, and against one side they can get 1 goal and lock the shop, they win. So talking about Manchester City, the difference at the end of the day, probably what will make the difference between them and Arsenal this season is because Arsenal can lock the shop while they can't.
What Manchester City can't, they always find a way to concede goals. Fahad, this goal drought that Erling Haaland is on has been on for how long now? Has it cost Manchester City the league title? Because earlier in the season, it was blistering form, raced to 20 goals, probably in the first couple of months of the season, and since then dropped. And I'm not sure he has scored more than 2-3 goals in the last 10 games, if not more. Has this drop in Haaland form cost Manchester City the league title? Because yesterday also, Manchester City scored 2 goals, but Haaland was not, anywhere near any of those 2 goals. So you can imagine if Haaland also, regardless of, the 2 goals, also had his own input, the way Haaland usually does. Maybe we'll be talking about, a 4-2 win for Manchester City yesterday.
I mean, I think, like you said, it has cost them a whole lot, because if you look at it,
has it cost them the league title?
Right now, it's looking like it is costing them the league title right now. Because if you look at it, we know that whether they can still score goals, but then there are times when you feel Haaland goals helps them a lot. It takes them over the edge, takes them over the line. I mean, we've seen the past few seasons now where Haaland has been scoring goals, has been demolishing teams, scored 3 goals against this team, and that was what has helped Manchester City. But right now, it looks like Haaland is on a goal drought, and City are struggling for goal to actually cross the finish line right now. Because if you look at Haaland, he's this type of player that when Kevin De Bruyne was there, he was always enjoying Kevin De Bruyne's services. And now Kevin De Bruyne left, and at the start of the season, he was scoring goals as well. So it just felt like maybe they were not going to miss Kevin De Bruyne. But then at some point, it will definitely show that there's no Kevin De Bruyne in this team. I mean, it looks like this is the period where Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland, they are always enjoying each other's partnership, where you'll be setting crosses for him. And right now, it just feels like Haaland is kind of still learning the ropes of the new guys within Manchester City, like Ryan Cherki, Atnon Semenyo, and also Mahmoud. He's still learning the ropes with this guy as well. So I just feel right now, Haaland And if Haaland is not scoring goals, there's no other player, there's no other nine that they can bring in to actually get them.
And that's the thing. Did they use Haaland into exhaustion? Because coming into this season, Haaland was the only striker. I mean, before it used to be Haaland and Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
They thought they brought in Mamouche to be the substitute to Haaland, but we all know that Mamouche haven't been a number 9. And even first half of the season, before the African Cup of Nations, Mamouche was nowhere to be found in the Manchester City setup. So it was after the AFCON that I felt like Mamouche started picking up. So it felt like they have depended only on Haaland for the entirety of the season. And sometimes that can exhaust the player. Yeah, game in, game out.
I feel the output of the attacking players in Manchester United dropped sporadically this season. Look at the midfield. How many players have given them 10 goals this season in the midfield? There was a time Foden was on fire doing
double figures.
Even Foden is finding out how to come into this team because he's not replicating that.
I was surprised when I saw him in the starting level yesterday.
Yes, Cherokee, for how good he is.
He even started his season injured. He became fit, not
yes. And another player that gives them that few number of goals from the flank is Doku. Doku is injured, just coming back. And Doku is not actually a player that will give you 15 goals in a season.
He's not a goal poacher. He's more of a flair player. He can create spaces. He can do things. He can.
And Kevin De Bruyne, Cherokee is not Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah. Kevin De Bruyne will chip in with goals.
He will also
chip in with assists. Cherokee most likely will. And Cherokee is a player that loves to touch the ball. It's not. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't really need to touch the ball every time. But one
pass.
The last pass. But Cherokee will always want to touch the ball. Go get the ball. So the output you expect Kevin De Bruyne to give in number will definitely be higher than what you expect Cherokee to give. They are different kind of players. So that's what I feel.
And I feel they are kind of missing the leadership in the middle of the park of Ilkay Gundogan. And I feel because it felt it was not really there last season.
And the number of goals he gives them every season.
Yeah. So I feel they are kind of missing those old stats that they have.
Isn't Rodri supposed to be, the new leader in the?
Yes, but the kind of output he gives in goal. Rodri can score goals, but remember the last time they had Gundogan still gives you 8-10 goals in a season sometimes.
So I think they're missing that kind of that
gets into the box, scores goals, and
for me it felt like they had it in TJ Rangers, but then I don't know.
Consistency is not there.
He hasn't really done much.
Maybe from next season we can see more of him in those positions.
Okay, and let's talk about Manchester United. I mean, we start with the winners now. We're
losers.
The draw, and then
you guys lose.
They lost.
I thought you drew.
No, they lost 2-1.
They lost.
They lost. No, they lost.
No, it should have been we lost.
They lost. Yeah, William Osula. Funny enough, William Osula was a player that Manchester United scouted in, I think, 2014 as an 11-year-old. Who would have thought? But then let's talk about Manchester United. Looks like the fairy tale run has finally ended for Michael Carrick. Even though it finally culminated in a loss yesterday, but I sort of felt like Manchester United have had it coming. In fact, Manchester United have had it coming since West Ham. It has been the performances. I think the last good performance Manchester United gave was Tottenham Hotspur, and that was even influenced by a red card. I feel like since West Ham, there has been a steady decline. But you know what? This
so far you win.
So far you win, or so far you don't lose. They will say, yeah, he's still unbeaten. West Ham was not it. Everton was just, a moment. Crystal Palace was aided. Probably Crystal Palace would have been the first loss, but it was aided by everything changed, with that red card and penalty. And then finally, it's because at the end of the day, when performances are not coming, eventually to affect the result. Now, it has happened. What can Michael Carrick learn from this? How did it go wrong for him yesterday? Because when it was goalless and that red card happened, everyone said, oh, lucky Manchester United, they're going to get away. And then when Newcastle scored, it felt like, okay, what's going on? But then when Manchester United equalized before halftime, everybody felt, oh, everything is back on track. Now, second half, they just need to go and take advantage of the one man down and get the winning goal. But then, that was not to be.
I think, like you said, United, they've had this coming. And this is like an eye-opener that this United team, they are not there yet.
Mm.
They are not in the pedestal that we are. A lot of people are actually pleasing them. People are pleasing them. Oh, they'll be challenging
win the
for.
league.
They'll be challenging for the title.
In fact, someone even said that, I don't know if it was Paul Mason or one of those foreign pundits said that he's tipping them for the title next year. I was like,
Really?
people get to carry
I think that was Jimmy O'Hara.
Jimmy O'Hara.
He said it feels like they'll be winning the league next season. And I feel this team, they are not there
They're
yet.
not there
They
yet.
are not
I mean,
there yet. I mean, yeah, they are winning.
They're not Liverpool last season. They're not anywhere near Liverpool last season. Neither are they anywhere near Arsenal this season.
I think one thing that happened was that the team that wanted it more actually won the game yesterday. And if you look at Newcastle, one thing is we all know them for the energy they bring in their midfield. There's no they didn't have
Manchester United midfield was dominated. I mean, maybe that was the game that shows that hey, Meno has a lot of potentials, but he's not there yet.
He's not there yet.
Maybe there's still quite a bit of hype on him. He's saying that he's still against the elite midfielders. He still found one thing.
We could see Joe Linton yesterday. We could see Sandro Tonali. These guys brought the energy into midfield, and it was. And United midfield, they were unable to cope with it. You could see how the kind of passes, the kind of dribbles that likes of Joe Linton and Sandro Tonali they were making yesterday, and United's midfield were unable to cope. And I felt like Casemiro was kind of gassed out at some point, so he took him off. And I was thinking, okay, maybe we'll bring in someone else. But
who else?
The thing is,
Ugarte is the only other defensive midfielder in the team.
For a player that has not started a lot of
fact, he has not started any game under
Michael Carrick. Now bringing him in that kind of atmosphere at St. Jesus Park will kind of do him a disservice because he struggled to get into
the line of fire.
He struggled to get into the rhythm of the game. And I think that's where he got strong actually yesterday himself.
And I felt like the same issue came with Malacia also. You know, Malacia hasn't played at all. I think since maybe January or something.
His last appearance came against Newcastle at Old
Trafford. So, and then you bring him on in the dying minute. Mazraoui was injured, but I believe Eden Heaven still made a substitute appearance against Crystal Palace for Harry Maguire, and he didn't lose rhythm. The game didn't lose rhythm. Eden Heaven is a left-footed centre back. He could have played left back to the end.
Brought him on to against players that are actually fast.
William Osula,
Joe Willock, and also Murphy. This Murphy guy,
Jacob
Murphy. Yeah, these guys are fast. I'm not saying Malacia is not fast, but
it's not the rhythm.
The player has not played.
I mean, look at how William Osula walked through him like he was.
That was the reason. I think
he was invincible.
Carrick made some mistakes yesterday. So when it comes to the substitution, he made a lot of mistakes. I think those two substitutions and also the Ahmad one too as well. If you could, I think at some point Mbeumo wasn't really doing much in the game, and I just feel he could have brought in Ahmad earlier. Yeah, he could have brought in Ahmad earlier than the time he brought him in. So I also United people were saying Ramsey was making saves. Those were saves that you expect a goalkeeper to make. Those are saves that the shots from Zegzi, you expect a goalkeeper to make those kind of saves. I just felt the only one that exceptional side I saw was the Lenny Euros one that I actually made. So I just felt, apart from that, they didn't really do very much in front of goal.
Does he have something? Is this a reality check for him? You know, he has been on a pedestal. Of course. You know, if he continues to go like this, he may think that everything is all right and good. Yes. Is this a blessing as the guys for Michael Carrick?
Yeah, it's a reality check because it shows that Manchester United is lacking in quality and fuse.
I feel like this game exposed the true nature of the squad.
Yes, especially in the
middle. Like you know what? You only have a first 11.
Yes.
Once there's something wrong with your first 11, you can't trust anyone on the bench.
That's the end. The quality in the team, especially in the midfield.
If Casemiro is not playing, you are done for.
I think Manchester United fans have done this for a long time. That if Casemiro is not there, you can't trust that thing. And it shouldn't be like that. There should be other options that can come in. And if they are not going to give 100% like the person playing those positions, at least they should be able to give 85. So that's how you build a team that can challenge for titles. I think by now, Manchester United fans now see that this team is not actually there yet.
Well, you can see the table displayed right there. Well, Arsenal opened a 7-point lead Manchester City, well, it is what it is. Manchester United, lucky enough, they still get to hold on to their third position because Aston Villa also lost to Chelsea at the Villa Park. So that's an interesting one. While Chelsea, well, I think they took full advantage of what happened to Manchester United and what they cost. Or should I say what happened to Liverpool also, because they have moved themselves into the top four. Liverpool is now sixth, back in sixth, and Aston Villa is fifth. It's looking like it's a matter of time before Aston Villa finds themselves out of the top five. Is this the end of the fairy tale run?
For Aston Villa, I think yes. I mean, it just looks like since they are used to play Kamara and also
John McGinn,
and let's not forget their third player, this Tillemans.
Yeah, really
Tillemans. Since these guys have not been in the team, just felt like Unai Emery has struggled to find the.
Garaja is not a rhythm.
He's found it hard to find the rhythm in that midfield, so he doesn't know who to use. Sometimes he use Douglas Luiz, you use Amado Onana. He hasn't gotten that midfield partnership, and honestly, it's kind of affecting them right now.
And quickly, finally, let's talk about Copa del Rey. What in the name of football did Diego Simeone do against Barcelona? I mean, he had only one job to do: just try and get one goal. But instead, he opted for defending from the first minute to the last minute. And we all know that those are the kind of decisions that ends in disaster. Yes. And honestly, I feel like if maybe Marcus Rashford had started that game instead of Ferran Torres, they could have actually gotten a comeback.
Atletico was lucky. Because
if Lewandowski was available, forget it.
If they happen to have started maybe Lewandowski in that game, it's possible they would have gotten that fourth goal, and if they happen to have gotten
even a fifth,
they would have gotten the fifth too. Even if they have to go to the extra time. I don't believe in that kind of mentality. This is not the first time you've seen Simeone do that kind of thing.
He did, against Juventus. You remember when they were up 2 goals and then they went to Turin and Ronaldo scored a hat-trick.
All you need to go you see, Camp Nou is not really a fine place you can go and start packing the bus.
And you have these outlying guys.
They have the crowd behind them. Secondly, in most situations, the referee is always going to back them. So look at the penalty they got. So
at best, a 50-50 call.
Yes, and they always get situations whereby they will need to call on the referee. That is the penalty. That's the referee will bounce
back to pressure.
So you can't go there and start defending. Like even before the match, like they said, even the backup player said it's a long journey at Camp Nou. If you are winning 3-0, 4-0 in your home and you come to Camp Nou, you feel that is the end. A
lot can change.
A lot can change within just 45 minutes. If they had gone into that game with the mindset that we want to go and score 2, I believe Barca would score. They would have scored 2.
I mean, they had the players.
They just had to hang in.
They had the players to get the goals, but they were not just interested.
Hanging in like that till 90 minutes.
They had up front. They had Ademola Lookman. They had Julian Alvarez. They had Antoine Griezmann. Those guys, if they were interested in getting goals, those guys would have at least got.
At the end of the day, they just had to hang on, and they were just.
They were lucky.
There were two instances where if Lewandowski was in place of Ferran Torres, would have gotten the goal. I mean, you look at Lewandowski. There was a cutback Yamal did for Ferran Torres that he actually skied over the crossbar, and I just believe it was Lewandowski in that position.
That's a goal.
Would have gotten the goal. And also, when we are talking about the 2 centre backs of Atletico Madrid, Anchko and Fubio, I just felt Ferran Torres, he didn't really do much.
Ferran Torres was
he didn't really do much to those two guys, and I felt Lewandowski could have done more against those 2 guys.
Now, congratulations to Atletico Madrid. They're in the final. They take on Real Sociedad, who also got the better of Atletico Bilbao, in the other semi-final. So, Real Sociedad against Atletico Madrid, maybe our boy, Ademola Lookman, could be getting his first trophy in the colors of Atletico de Madrid. Well, this is a roundup of some of the actions that we witnessed during the week. Congratulations to Arsenal. Congratulations to Chelsea. Well, better luck next time for the Manchester teams. And for Atletico de Madrid, well, congratulations to you. Diego Simeone gambled it and it worked out. Well, let us know what you think on the comment section. And of course, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel.